Bitcoin is once again below its prior all-time high, and this is most likely the ultimate final opportunity that most of us will have to collect the best coins in the industry before they begin their true bull runs. Now, I said a few times during this correction, if anyone posts bearish content, it's time to delete them from your feed. Not because they could be right, of course anyone could be right, but because the reality is that this bull run requires conviction, and it requires conviction during the dips. Market dips during a bull run are by far the biggest and best opportunities to buy the best coins at a huge discount. So getting scared away from the best opportunities and being actionable about the plan is something that will poison your long-term outcomes. So today I'm going to be going over the coins that I personally hold, some positions I've added during this dip, and going over what I think are the absolute best places to pay attention to if you want to make transformative, insane 20, 30, 50x or more gains throughout the rest of the bull run. Now, I actually had an unpublished video here. You can see it's from March 19th, and I filmed it about a day before, and I was essentially talking about buying the dip here. I was talking about all the coins that I was going to buy the dip on. It was a cool video, but I wasn't super happy with it, and I had to do some work travel, and I just ended up throwing the whole video away. That's how seriously I'm taking the content here on this channel. So if you're excited that I'm not going to put out a single video that's going to waste your time, destroy that like button. Make sure you share this video and subscribe, because we're going to be bringing you by far the best, most actionable, information-packed content here in the entire cryptoverse. All you got to do is subscribe with that bell notification on. Now, without further ado, let's get into this, because the last few days we saw Bitcoin wick all the way down to about that 60K level. Now, anything around that 60K level is a great buy, of course, because the 60K level will become the minimum cost for production as soon as we hit the halving in April. And that should become the bargain basement bottom level price that we'll ever see Bitcoin at. It's never broken that particular model, as has been explained by my good friend Eric Crown. We've seen explosive rises here, and as you can see, the low here on the 19th was lower than what we saw here on the 22nd. It looks like we're consolidating. And even though earlier today we did rip above 70K, the truth is that we're still well under this $73,000 high from a couple of weeks ago. And so expect us to range here unless we just snap right through this all-time high of 73K. I wouldn't be surprised to see us range here a bit and go sideways. Again, anything around that 60K level or even a little bit below, I would not be upset at that. I would be snagging any coins that I could if we dip as low as 57K, a little under 60K. I think that might be the freak out level that everyone just cannot bear. The one thing I want to urge you to understand is that during these dips in a bull market, it's very tempting. Bears will come out, they'll start victory lapping. Everyone who isn't in and fully bullish is going to try to shake your conviction and use this as a chance to have you move your price targets lower and lower. What I'll say is that if you have a dip buying target, don't move it during the dip. Simply execute on that plan. And again, buying when it's uncomfortable during a bull run is by far the best strategy. Every time I've bought when it's uncomfy, I felt good about it. Some of the positions I took on this past week, I'm very excited with, and we can see over the last few days, the strongest coins bouncing out of this particular correction. Well, those are going to be the strongest coins going forward. So we're going to start here by going over my bullish thesis. There's so much to be excited about around crypto right now. And then we're going to work on to the key lesson of today and the coins that I think embody that key lesson of how to absolutely crush this market. Once again, anyone who flips bearish on dips like this, just block them out. Block them out. You do not need them in your life. Bearish content is poison right now. I personally believe that. Again, there's a risk that you could lose all your coins here in crypto. Once you know the risks and you know what the potential outcomes are, then having bears in your ear does not help you with your conviction plays, because a lot of it after that is just waiting for that thesis to play out. But why today are we more bullish than prior episodes? Well, guess what? We've been ignoring the macro ever since the majority of the macro crash happened throughout late 2022 and early 2023. We flipped bullish when they started bailing out the banks. Guess what? Powell now is ready to support job market even if inflation lingers. AKA, they are ready to print money. They are ready to go back to stimulating. And that means that more money is going to flow into these crypto coins and support this entire market. And we know that this long tail effect doesn't just have a short-term effect, but it'll have an effect for 1, 2, maybe even 3 years out into the future. So as soon as this happens, expect for the markets to go absolutely bananas. It's no longer a question of if we've won the war on inflation. The question is more money coming? And that answer is yes. In fact, that answer is always yes, and that's why Bitcoin and crypto exist. It's a scarcity model to offset the model of infinity that fiat has screwed us over with. And that's the point here, is that the prior system doesn't even work. Even if you make $250K a year, the idea that you could save for retirement is pretty much out the window, because experts believe you'll need $3 to $5 million to actually retire comfortably by the time Gen Z is going to need to retire. After taxes at $250K and expenses, you'd be very stoked if you're saving $50K a year. And $50K a year to get to $3 million means that you'd have to be saving for 60 years working straight every single year. So there was a lot to be bullish about as far as the macro, with new money coming into the economy, with Bitcoin's biggest headwinds starting to resolve. And of course, we are playing with destiny right before the halving, which is historic in and of itself. So yes, we're very bullish. Of course, if you're playing in crypto, you need to watch my beginner videos. Everything in crypto, Bitcoin included, could crumble, could go straight down 80, 90, even 100% with altcoins.
And it's gone.
So you need to own your probabilities. We are all gambling here because the fiat system has screwed us over, and crypto is by far the fastest way to escape that system. So let's talk about the crypto coins that I think could outperform Bitcoin coming into the next segment of the market. And again, if you do not have a big stack, my highest recommendation to you is that you farm airdrops. Here's Virtual Bacon talking about the ZK Sync airdrop, big airdrop. If you go and put in some effort, maybe you'll be able to get some tokens. Again, him and Miles Deutscher have amazing airdrop guides. They're all over the place. You should be farming airdrops like it's your entire job, and you could very well end up with $5,000, $10,000 here and there to start your journey, which you can then rotate into the high conviction plays and the more degen plays. But this is the main lesson of today, is that this cycle, it's all about longing and putting all of your emphasis on the coins that have shown strength, on the sectors that have shown strength. As Zahir says, the biggest change between the cycles is the delta in underperformance or outperformance of an asset. In 2021, even if certain assets outperformed, others would still be positive on the day. Now the delta is wider than it has been, more dispersion, more work needed. What he's saying is that the strong coins are crushing it, but the weak coins are no longer just crushing it a little less. It used to be that you could bet on anything and you'd win to a certain degree. Now stuff is just like flat, or other stuff is up only. Wolf puts this into perspective by saying some people have been tweeting when alt season for half a year. Others have been euphoria posting during the same period. This will only increase. This is a good thing. Good coins will do better. Larger pool of capital getting more concentrated. Choose pre-outperformers. Choose pre-outperformers is the actual takeaway here, because what he's saying is that the coins that have been outperforming are going to continue to outperform with more pools of capital concentrating on less bets. Now again, there are so many big accounts talking about how altcoins failed to outperform Bitcoin, but I made a list of 38, now probably close to 50 coins over the last 6 months, and every single one of them has outperformed Bitcoin except for maybe 1 or 2. So how is it possible that all altcoins are failing to outperform Bitcoin if it's so easy to make lists of outperformers and consistently outperform Bitcoin? The truth is that you need to understand where the attention and liquidity are going, and by doing that, you can easily outperform Bitcoin, and that is the quickest way to actually build wealth in crypto. It's worked for me. Again, there's high risks in this game. Anything could happen in the market, and I'm not telling you I have a perfect crystal ball, but I'm going to share with you my plans, because if you look over the last 6 months, the coins that I've been highlighting on this channel, the category leaders, have continued to attract monstrous snowballs of liquidity. Now, another thing, look, there's going to be trillions of dollars flooding the market. It will be easy to get sucked into super high degenerate activities that could make 1000x overnight, when in fact you could literally just go over to the best coins in crypto gaming and AI, maybe layer ones, and just literally sit there and wait for the liquidity to come to you. Buy spot bags and chill, and that's generational wealth. By the way, Crypto Cousin has been absolutely killing the calls lately. He does a little bit more low cap, a little bit more degen stuff than me, but I have to give credit where credit's due. He's been smashing the calls throughout this entire run. I'm going to give credit to a few other creators you should check out throughout this video, because they've definitely been putting me on to some really good pockets of value. And that's the thing. When you find people who know how to play and recognize the game of crypto, see where the capital and value is flowing, you want to swim with those people. Again, this channel has been the leader in shaping the narrative around gaming, along with, of course, my buddy Alex Becker. And we've really helped the audience completely get ahead of the most important trend that I think in consumer adoption with gaming. There's also also AI, and there's been a few absolute killers acing the AI game. We'll go over some of their picks and some of the positions I've added in just a few seconds here. But then of course you can just follow the energy of the community. It's not so hard to see the winners, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But the thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to get sucked out chasing the lowest cap degenerate nonsense, and you end up with no money that's just compounding easily with the market. Because the leaders in gaming, whether it's infra, whether it's the gaming currency play like Super, which is defining that entire category, whether it's the best games like Prime, like Off the Grid, My Pet Hooligan, Shrapnel, and more, which we'll talk about later on in the video, those projects will eventually compound with the attention of the market. Whereas if you're chasing a meme coin, it could be gone tomorrow. And that's not to say you shouldn't play in meme coins, but that's to say that the probabilities of you front running attention and liquidity in memes is way less likely than it is to front run category leaders in gaming and AI. It's almost brain dead easy to say, here are the leaders of the categories in gaming and AI, and just get into those before everyone else does. So again, we're going to get into all the coin picks in just a second here. Again, one last thing, the Coinbase spot premium is back. When Coinbase is trading above others for Bitcoin price, it usually indicates bullish things. That's at least what we've seen this cycle. You can see TED Talks Macro with this blue indicator here at the bottom. It's showing that the Coinbase price is slightly above others. Now, before I go on, I want to tell you about one specific little trick and tool that I use literally all the time here in crypto. If you're new to crypto or you've been here a long time, there's pretty much no excuse for not using a VPN. A VPN is literally the basics for staying safe in crypto. Whenever you visit a cryptocurrency website like CoinGecko or potentially Uniswap or any kind of DEX, what you're doing is you're actually showing your IP address. You're showing your identity to that website. And while crypto is decentralized, the blockchain is decentralized and anonymous to a degree, those websites are logging your personal information. And so you're kind of waving a sign to the world saying, hey, look, I'm a crypto user. And if you're holding money in your wallets as a crypto user, you don't want to do that. It is a very basic rule of the road to use a VPN, and VPNs only cost a few dollars per month. So that's why I've partnered up with NordVPN to bring you a big, fat, juicy exclusive discount for this channel. You can check it out in the link below. And I'll add that they actually have a feature called threat protection, where it allows you to mask your data. For example, if you connect to Wi-Fi at a hotel while you're traveling, you could be potentially leaking personal and sensitive data to that Wi-Fi router. There could be a malicious man-in-the-middle attack, and just using a software that costs less than a few bucks per month can save you all that mess. So like I've said many times before, there are many mistakes that you can make in crypto, and you can be forgiven because a lot of OGs make mistakes too, even me. But forgetting to use your VPN is not one of them. You will not be forgiven for that. So make sure you get your VPN now. It supports the channel. And once again, thank you to NordVPN for the exclusive discount and for partnering with the channel. Now let's get into the AI stuff, and we're just gonna rip it right off the bat. This is Crypto God John. Now I've been following this guy for several years, but I will say over the last few months, he's been on the wildest streak with AI coins that I've seen. And I'm gonna be honest with AI. My thesis is extremely simple. AI will continue to make mainstream news. It will dominate mainstream news as the new innovative product category that everyone's obsessed with. Whether it's OpenAI saga, the drama around the boardroom, new products coming out, ChatGPT, Sora, whether it's NVIDIA conferences, NVIDIA breaking all the records for revenue and stock market valuations. The point is that AI will continue to be the darling of modern business. And as such, whether it's good news or bad news, crypto coins tying themselves to AI will continue to attract attention like wildfire. Now, I'll be honest, I'm trading these a little bit like memes because the AI thing is really hard to predict. I do not know, and I can't tell you with a high degree of certainty who the winners are going to be. In fact, I've been studying a lot of experts in the field, and they can't tell you either. But what we can see is that whenever the market bounces, a cohort of AI tokens is going absolutely bananas. So if you saw a lot of strength out of the bounce or over the last 2 to 3 months from AI tokens, those are the coins that I would be looking to get a piece of during the dip. And quite frankly, there are a few categories of AI, but the one that I'm really interested in is the decentralized compute. It effectively is going to lower the cost of compute resources needed for AI. And then there's a lot of AI product stuff. And that's where I'm really not sure who the winners are going to be. And I don't think anyone can tell you that they know who the winners are going to be from that category. So to me, I'm not trying to pick winners. I'm trying to see, hey, where are there legit projects that are clearly not scams, that clearly have hardworking teams behind them? And then I'm just going to distribute bets into those AI tokens because I don't have a particular edge. My edge hedge is knowing that most people will flood into AI cryptos because they think AI is the future and because AI keeps making massive news stories. And so there's so much horny capital looking to jump in and get involved with AI coins. And so essentially, if I know a lot of capital is coming, much like my thesis on gaming, then I'm just trying to spread my bets over likely winners. I will say of this list, 0x0, PAL, OPSEC, Desync, GPU. I don't own Zig, Scale, DAI, and I do have EMC, but I have the other ones, and I'm just spreading my bets here. You can see with PAL AI here, the last year has been crazy. Like, it's just been explosive growth. Again, I don't know if this comes down again, but you can see the bounce here over the last 3 days or so off the lows. Since we hit those lows on Bitcoin, it went from 54 cents up to like 80 cents. You can see a massive, massive bounce off of these. That's what you want to see. You want to see coins that are going absolutely crazy once the risk floods into the market. Obviously, PAL is already a pretty big market cap here, so this is not a small coin. But again, I don't think there's a very logical ceiling on AI coins because we don't know what the ceiling is on AI as a technology, and this bull run could lead to absolutely silly valuations for all coins. So I don't think there's a hard set like don't invest in this range category for coins. What you want to see is that the market gets really excited about these coins on bounces. So PAL AI is on my list. OPSEC is on my list. I took a massive position on OPSEC, and you can see again, even during this correction, OPSEC had a massive sort of push upwards. It did not want to go down here. And so yeah, when you see a coin that has like this strong of a bounce under it during a pullback, you can see that it was almost knocking at all-time highs before Bitcoin even made its big move. Again, you want to long strengthen this, and I like the ticker OPSEC. I looked at their website. It's got some cool use cases. Again, I don't know who's going to be the winner. I'm not saying this is going to be the winner of all AI. I'm just saying I'm looking for AI coins that seem legit and are having strong bounces during the corrections. Same with Desync. Again, you've seen an explosion around the NVIDIA conference for Desync, and then you saw a quick bounce almost back to all-time highs as soon as Bitcoin got out of its funk. Again, these are all coins that are listed by my buddy Johnny over here. Go give him a follow, okay? Smash that follow for him. He's doing great work, and to be honest, has been on the front lines of the AI trend. I don't think anyone's called the AI coins as well as him. And then you have EMC here, Edge Matrix, AIOZ. Again, this is a layer one. As you can see, it's been absolutely explosive of late. But again, this is like a full layer one play. AIOZ, again, I took a massive position in this one. And Akash, this has been one of my longest term bags. Since 2021, I've had this position. And they just continue to chug up. This is just gorgeous. And once they break their prior all-time highs, that'll be a super fun place. This is in the cloud computing space. I'll just share this. This is a website called MyShell. I stumbled across this last week. I think I saw it on Rand's channel. But essentially, they allow you to build and share your own AI agents, and you can use any of the models on Hugging Face, which is like any of the new AI sort of language models. And this is just something that I could see blowing up, right? But it doesn't even have a token yet. So I'm not trying to get too over invested emotionally in any of these AI plays because I know that there's tons of stuff being built in the background that we might not see yet. And for that reason, you know, MyShell, it looks like they have a bunch of crypto backers. So they're probably going to be launching a token in the future. These are the types of things that could end up being the leaders, right? It could end up being closest to that user adoption funnel. So my goal here is not to say, hey, I'm such a genius, I'm going to pick the winners. It's I'm spreading my bets over a lot of AI tokens that look super legit, show that they have active teams that have been working for years, not scams as best as I can tell. You can't tell fully with these teams, especially in a bull market. People come up and they look like they have the best intentions, but they look for the most part like they're not scammy, have good marketing, and that they're bouncing hard with the market. If the market's really giving them that AI hype, when you see all the AI coins pumping, well, hey, look, chances are this coin's going to continue moving with that market. A coin I invested in recently as well is GPU Net. Again, this is similar to the Akash play in that they have a ton of GPUs that are looking to do decentralized compute. I did invest in this one. I actually passed on Aether. The reason why is that they were doing just like this massive node sale and they've raised like $100 million or something like that. And it's all good and well. I just got a little bit put off by the fact that they were raising so much money, but I do hope they do well. I just think that the valuations might not leave a ton of upside for the retail community, but who knows? I could be wrong. I know they have a bunch of legit things going on with their project. And I know they have a bunch of big sort of institutional clients for their decentralized compute. And same with IONET, really big project doing the same thing. It's like Akash, GPU, IONET, and Aether. Of those, I only hold Akash and I've invested into GPU. These are the other big players in that niche. Again, so that's my AI bucket. Feel free to buy any of those, none of those. I've told you which ones I hold. Again, my logic is really, really simple here. AI will continue to make waves in mainstream culture, and those waves will have huge ripple effects here in crypto. And chances are like 99% of AI coins will not be around next cycle. But the question is, will there be a big winner AI network? Whether it's BitTensor, which we've been covering forever, Akash, the decentralized compute, the AI layer one blockchains. And we saw a picture of the Near founder, Near protocol, and its founder with the founder of NVIDIA. Again, there's so much AI meets crypto stuff happening. Picking the ultimate winner is not something I claim that I'm going to be able to do, but picking a little Easter basket of AI AI tokens that are bouncing like little bunnies every time the AI market heats up. That's the goal. We're trying to get ahead of attention and liquidity, and clearly these projects are attracting that. And that's why I've taken positions in these AI coins on this dip. All right, AI, check. Now moving on to gaming, which of course, you know, is near and dear to my heart. Okay, first and foremost with gaming, Immutable X, this is becoming almost like the institutional play. This is where the big money is going to go because it's such a safe way to invest in a diversified bucket of games. We've been covering this. I think we first covered this about 40 cents at the bottom of the bear, but obviously I've been talking about Immutable X for years now. I'm a seed investor in Immutable X, so I'm holding extraordinarily heavy bags of this, but I do see this as having legs, as this could really expand with that institutional narrative. They just partnered with one of the biggest exchanges, OKX, to do like a launch pad. Again, the announcements with Immutable X are sort of almost never ending. They have so many games coming. And so the question is, where will the hits be? The general thought process is that there will at least be some degree of success on IMX. And that's why it's the easiest bet right now. But there's also Ronin. Again, we talked about Ronin here under 50 cents. I think it was about 40 cents. So a clean 10X up from the lows. And really, as you can see, just getting started, like this chart is just beautiful up and to the right. They had Pixels Online launch on them. And my most contrarian belief for this cycle is that GameFi, what we saw with Axie Infinity, is going to come back with an absolute vengeance. And that'll most likely be a huge boost for Ronin. So just if GameFi comes back, Ronin is in prime position to actually soak up and be the beneficiary of that movement. I mean, definitely a category leader for GameFi. Echelon Prime, again, this one has been an absolute mad tear since it announced it was coming to Solana and you were going to be able to get this new AI token by staking Prime. Again, we covered this thing around $2 here back in October. It was in late October here. We covered this thing around 280 or whatever. So clean 10X again from where we've covered it. And this is all before Bitcoin has hit its all-time high, which to me, the leaders in each category can easily 10X from here after Bitcoin's all-time high. So again, you could have just bought into category leading gaming tokens without any stress, waited for them to 10X, just sat on them. And if we 10X again, then you could have not just one, but several hundred X's across the board. And that is just the magic of crypto. And that's why you have to have conviction, a thesis, and just the ability to wait for this stuff to play out. Again, no guarantees. This could all reverse. This could all reverse. But my thesis has been very simple, which is that crypto gaming is the ultimate consumer use case. And once we get a true hit game in the crypto gaming space, all of these tokens are going to go bananas. Absolutely mind-numbing, face-melting bananas. We don't know when that moment comes, but that's the moment that we're preparing for. Like literally samurais every day training, chopping wood, or whatever samurais do, waiting for this breakout game to hit the presses. Because once that happens, everything changes. You better start adding zeros to the prices of all these crypto gaming projects. Now, speaking of which, Superverse, obviously a project near and dear to my heart as the co-founder, has just announced some of the biggest partnerships in the history of the crypto gaming space, bar none. And the first one that I'm going to talk about today is Shrapnel. Now, Shrapnel is by far one of the sexiest shooting games coming to this entire crypto gaming industry. You can see here some of their cinematics, full-on AAA team, 90+ person studio here in the United States, and they are just crushing it with a glorious backdrop here. One of the most competitive shooters here, and they're going to be integrating Super Token into their marketplace ongoing. This is one of the biggest games in the industry. They had a massive booth at GDC, and in my opinion, this is potentially one of the breakout hits that takes the entire crypto gaming space mainstream. And they actually have this custom weapon that they made for super holders, so you can claim this free. You have until March 31st, so do not wait. If you don't have super, you can grab some super and head into their Discord. Again, if you haven't figured out the trend, every major crypto game is going to be giving out really cool stuff to super holders when they join the Superverse. So if you can't pick up on the trend, let me help you understand. First, we had Off the Grid. Now we have Shrapnel, easily two of the biggest games in the whole industry, coming up with entirely custom loot for super holders. Make sure you don't miss out on this one. And again, that's not where this ends. As you can see, Shrapnel here, in my opinion, is criminally undervalued here at 28 cents. A lot of games have been pushing up to that sort of $2 billion FDV. Again, if Shrapnel fulfills its destiny here as a AAA banger of a game, this is probably at least needs to go 2 to 3x from here to catch up to some of the other leading games in the ecosystem. As you can see here, it's been consolidating nicely. It's been sort of up at 41 cents, down to about 20 cents, and now you can see it's sort of in the middle here. Like I said, Superverse is only partnering with the most elite games in the industry, and Shrapnel is certainly one of them, and it does feel like their hype has been a little bit underweight given how high level their project is. Next, we have Wilder World, the second crazy game that you're just finding out has just joined Superverse, which means this insane next gen Unreal Engine 5 photorealistic mind-blowing game, Metaverse, has just integrated Super Token for permanent utility. This is what the Superverse is all about, taking the most elite developers and bringing the biggest community to them. Look at how crazy these graphics are. To me, this looks even better than Grand Theft Auto 5. Or 6 rather, and they already have like a mini game mode where you can play and race these crazy cars. The community and team have been steady nonstop building for years, some crypto OGs, and I just really think what they're doing is sick. One of the coolest games visually for sure, and one of the most ambitious projects in the crypto gaming space. So of course, having them enter the Superverse here is a no-brainer. Now, Wilder World has honestly one of the craziest charts ever. Their all-time high was 744, and they're trading here at literally 10x below that. They're a 90% discount still, and look at this. The chart just has not really made its big move back to its prior highs. You can see here that it took forever for them to break out of this sort of 50-cent range here. They went up and tried to hit 50 cents, 60 cents. They kept getting rejected here, and they're still really at this low. That's what's cool about Wilder World, is to me, it's definitely got huge potential here price-wise. It feels like it still hasn't really gotten its big pump off the lows like some of these other gaming projects, and they have been putting in work. So again, Wilder World, I feel like, is super duper undervalued here. And honestly, having games like this enter the Superverse just shows that there really is no competition for what Superverse is doing. It's uniting the craziest builders, all the best games, so that one token can flow through them all and unite the community as well, which is currently fragmented among a bunch of games. When I told you that Superverse was going to unite the best games, AAA masterpiece games, I was not overselling it at all. In fact, I think I was underselling it, because what you've seen is really just the warm-up here. There is so much yet to reveal. And so all I can say is that if you want to be a part of this wave of gaming, Super is by far the category leader at a universal gaming coin, a universal gaming currency that's being integrated into every major title in this industry. And it's really defining what a native crypto gaming currency and community is all about. And we're still under Bitcoin all-time high. The run hasn't even started yet. And obviously it's still early days here in this crypto run. I do believe that gaming will have an inflection point at some point where there will be truly a hit game that takes over Twitch culture, Web2 culture, and after that moment, it will literally be a before and after moment where crypto gaming leaders will surge to new highs that we cannot really estimate, because we've never lived in a world where there's a rampaging crypto bull run as well as a crypto gaming hit. Those two things together are precisely why I've been spending the last 6+ years chasing this exact dream. And it's honestly such a pleasure to have you all with me. So if you're not a part of the Super community, I look forward to you joining it, because it's asserted itself now as a leader in defining the future of on-chain gaming. Again, My Pet Hooligan, Off the Grid, Metalcore, Shrapnel, Wilder World, and the bull run hasn't even started, guys. We're just warming up. This is, quite frankly, just the beginning. Now, before I let you go, obviously the story of the last few months has been meme coins. Meme coins have attracted so much capital, so much excitement, so much mind share that they're being talked about on mainstream media, mainstream news. And the question is, how do you profit bigly from meme coins? The answer is probably not what you want it to be, which is you have two ways. Either you take a slot machine approach, you jump in, you start bidding meme coins, whatever's being talked about on Solana or Base Chain or BNB, wherever you like your meme coins, whatever local farms you like to patronize for your memetic tokens. Yes, wherever you go, bless you. The reality is for me that meme coins under like a certain value cap just could easily die and go to zero. In fact, meme coins at any value cap could die and go to zero, but I've taken some positions in ones that are a little bit more established, have a consistent wave of noise. Like I told you many months ago, actually, I had pointed out Pepe and Bonk were my only meme positions. That was literally back in October, but I've actually added a position in MOG. Again, I'm not saying I know the future of this, but on ETH, I think MOG could follow Pepe. I actually have a ton more meme coins I don't feel comfortable covering. And the reason is that I just don't think meme coins are some place that I have an edge. I don't know how to predict them. Obviously, I've gotten lucky on some. I've gotten really unlucky on other ones. I've lost way more than I've gained on meme coins. However, I do think that when it's all said and done, if you just look at accumulating category leaders in gaming and AI, rotate your big long-term wins into things like Solana, that's just the easy way to play the game. There is an easy way where you have a high probability of success by playing this way. And there's another way where you might make $1 million overnight, but chances are you're going to get wrecked. And even if you do make $1 million on meme coins, you're probably going to hyper gamble it away over the course of the rest of the cycle, expecting to repeat that success when it was largely lucky. Again, if you are a meme coin expert, I salute you. I believe in you. And I believe, as I've said many times before, that meme coins will be a huge part of this crypto cycle. But I also believe that crypto will eventually have real use cases, and that predicting getting the liquidity and the attention around gaming and AI is stupid simple. And it's going to be so easy to bang out 10, 20, 30 X's in those particular categories that's where I'm putting my focus, is multiplying wealth in a strategic and methodical way. Again, I do have a meme coin portfolio, but that's not the topic of today. If you win on memes, I love you. I respect you. You're doing well. You're mogging it, but again, that's not the point of the channel here. All right, I think I've put a sufficient amount of alpha into this video. I think there's like 50 million coins I've covered. If you're a small wallet, farm airdrops. Don't blow all your money on memes. Collect the top category leaders. Category leaders and strength. For the last 6 months, if these coins have not pumped, if they don't show a sign of life, if they are not getting a ton of attention and liquidity from the markets, leave them and go away unless you have a really strong reason that there's a catalyst that you believe will come in and change things. And if your coins have been pumping like crazy and have been super strong, well, I think they'll continue to get way stronger after Bitcoin puts in a firm new all-time high and continues up to some meaningful new round number, 80,000, 100,000, etc. Those category leaders are going to move like you're worse than your worst nightmare. Anyway, I'm EllioTrades. If you enjoyed this, check out this video. It's loaded with alpha, and I will see you very soon on the next episode.